Welcome to this explainer. We're about to take a totally fascinating biological road trip through the human body, specifically exploring the advanced processing factory we call the gastrointestinal tract. If you've ever wondered how your body actually sustains itself on a cellular level, well, you are in the exact right place. Okay, let's dive right in and ask ourselves a really fundamental question. How exactly does the body transform a solid bite of food into microscopic cellular energy without us even thinking about it? It's this seamless, continuous process that we totally take for granted every single time we sit down for a meal. Well, until we get a stomachache anyway.
So here's our itinerary for today's journey. We'll start with an overview of the digestive system, then move down through the mouth and esophagus, head inside the stomach, check out the vital accessory organs, travel through the small and large intestines, and finally, we'll explore the gut's incredible second brain.
All right, section 1. Let's get a high-level overview of the digestive system. It's amazing to think about the 6 core processes of our biological factory. You see, we don't just digest. We actually go from the active ingestion of food to propulsion, literally moving it along the tract, to mechanical crushing, and then that absolutely critical chemical digestion, where complex molecules are enzymatically broken down into absorbable monomers. And finally, we've got absorption into the blood or lymph and the eventual elimination of waste. It's basically a highly coordinated assembly line just running in reverse. Moving right along to section 2, the mouth and esophagus. What's truly astonishing is the sheer volume of saliva we produce. We're talking about 1.5 liters pumped out daily by your major and minor salivary glands. And it's not just to keep your mouth from feeling dry, right? This fluid lubricates your food, protects your teeth from decay, and actually uses an enzyme called salivary amylase to kickstart the digestion of starches the second food hits your mouth. Now, even though it's packed with powerful antibacterial agents like lysozyme and those vital digestive enzymes, saliva is overwhelmingly just water, like over 99% water. And this provides the essential liquid medium we need for our taste buds to actually detect flavors. Without that water dissolving the food chemicals, you literally wouldn't be able to taste a single thing. To actually crush our food, we rely on our highly mineralized enamel-coated teeth. And enamel, by the way, is the absolute hardest substance in the human body. We basically transition from a starter set of 20 primary teeth when we're kids to a highly specialized adult set of 32 teeth. This grown-up set gives us perfectly optimized incisors for cutting, canines for tearing, and those large molars for completely grinding down food matrices. So the crucial point here is how we swallow, which is scientifically called deglutition. It actually starts as a conscious, voluntary choice in the oral phase, when your tongue pushes the food back. But instantly, it hands off control to an involuntary pharyngeal reflex, and then to involuntary peristaltic waves. These muscular waves systematically squeeze and propel the food down a 25-centimeter tube called the esophagus. You aren't doing any conscious work at this point. Your body completely takes over. Next up, section 3, heading inside the stomach. After dropping through the lower esophageal sphincter, which, by the way, rapidly closes to stop acid reflux, our food bolus enters the harsh, extreme environment of the stomach. To act as an effective chemical vat and blender, parietal cells in the stomach secrete hydrochloric acid, and this drops the environment to a highly destructive pH of 2.0. That level of extreme acidity is absolutely necessary to obliterate ingested bacteria and denature or unfold complex proteins so they can be digested. Now, inside the deep gastric pits of your stomach, there's a highly specialized workforce. You've got chief cells releasing a protein-cleaving agent called pepsinogen, and G cells sending out hormones to ramp up that acid production. But the true unsung heroes, the mucus cells, they secrete a highly viscous alkaline gel barrier. Without this constant defensive shield, that pH 2.0 acid would cause the stomach to literally digest itself. Crazy, right? On to section 4, the vital accessory organs. So, as the stomach churns the food into this uniform liquid paste we call chyme, we need to meet the vital chemical helpers of the digestive system. Tucked right behind the stomach, the pancreas is doing some serious double duty. Yes, it's dumping powerful digestive enzymes and acid-neutralizing bicarbonate into the start of the small intestine, but its microscopic islets of Langerhans also house 4 specialized endocrine cells that brilliantly orchestrate your blood glucose levels. Alpha cells secrete glucagon to raise blood sugar, while beta cells secrete insulin to lower it. It is just a perfect biological balancing act. Next is the liver, our body's heaviest internal organ. The liver is an absolute powerhouse. It detoxifies your blood, produces critical blood serum proteins, and creates bile for the gallbladder. But astonishingly, it also acts as a massive biological vault. It stores a 1 to 2 year supply of vitamin A and a 3 to 5 year backup supply of vitamin B12. This is exactly why you don't immediately suffer deficiencies if your diet slips for just a few days. All right, section 5, the small and large intestines.
Now armed with hepatic bile to emulsify dietary fats and pancreatic enzymes to further break down the chyme, our food enters the complex nutrient extraction mazes of the intestines. And it is absolutely mind-boggling that your small intestine is a highly convoluted, 3 to 5 meter long tube dynamically packed into your abdomen. Why is it so long? Well, because it needs to maximize the physical surface area for absorbing all those digested molecular monomers right into your bloodstream and lymphatic system. We essentially navigate through 3 distinct zones here. First up is the short, C-shaped duodenum, which acts as the primary mixing bowl for the chyme and chemicals. Next is the highly vascularized jejunum, which is packed with dense villi for soaking up the bulk of the nutrients. And finally, the lengthy ileum, which continues that absorption but importantly provides vital immunological defense through its resident lymphoid tissues right before the waste exits. Once nutrient extraction in the small intestine is fully complete, the remaining unabsorbed waste is pushed through the ileocecal valve into the large intestine, or the colon. Here, different muscular segments systematically reclaim water to solidify the waste. But this environment also houses over 700 distinct species of symbiotic bacteria, and they're busy metabolizing indigestible fiber and synthesizing essential vitamins for us, like vitamin K. And finally, section 6, the gut's second brain. Okay, let's dive into the enteric nervous system. This is quite literally a second brain located entirely in your gut. It's an autonomous network of millions of neurons embedded right into the walls of the digestive tract. It actually manages swallowing, complex peristalsis movements, and local enzyme secretions all on its own, without even needing to check in with your actual brain or spinal cord. How wild is that? This autonomous nervous system is beautifully organized into 2 distinct networks. You have the myenteric plexus, which acts as the physical muscle driver, controlling the rhythm and tone of the gut's motility. And working right alongside it is the submucosal plexus, which precisely handles the chemical side of things, regulating regional blood flow and local hormone releases. From the initial crush of our teeth to the acidic vats of the stomach and the winding extraction mazes of our intestines, our GI tract is a true engineering marvel. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this provocative thought. Considering the sheer scale of the enteric nervous system, and with all of these complex, unconscious chemical calculations and autonomous decisions happening inside you right now, just how much of your daily life is being quietly dictated by your stomach. Thanks for exploring the gastrointestinal tract with me today, and keep questioning the incredible mechanics of the human body.